This is for hello, hello. This is Reginald Andre with Arc Solvers. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to get on. All right, so let's get started. Reginald Andre with Arc Solvers, and I hope everybody is staying safe right now with this coronavirus epidemic. Our office, we have been helping our clients to set up remote sessions online so that they can be able to work from home. And we've been getting a lot of requests as far as what do I need to do so that my employees are as comfortable as possible. And especially for those of you that are in Miami-Dade and Broward County, one of the rules that the government is putting into effect right now is essentially that you need to have only essential employees work at the buildings, and if they don't need to be out, then they need to stay home. So that's going to make the work from home pretty important. And I've even heard that some buildings, if you work in a building that has like an elevator and there's offices on each floor, the buildings themselves are closing the buildings to make sure that everyone in general is safe. A lot of times, security, front desk, they're no longer going to be available. So it's really important that you try to just prepare, because we really just don't know how long this is going to be. So I wanted to do this live question and answer session. We did have a few questions asked by our clients via email, so I'm going to go over it. And the most important thing that I want you guys to get out of this is that since now you still have access to your buildings, this is the time that you should really prepare. If there's any items in your office that maybe your employees need from home, this is the time now to get those items out of there, because like I mentioned, a lot of buildings are actually going to close the buildings themselves, and if it's a non-essential business, they won't be allowed to get there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now that we have a few people logged in. So these are the things that we would highly recommend that your employees take when they go to the office on their last day, before they begin to work from home. So the first thing is printers. If you have a desk printer, or if your employee has a desk printer and maybe what they do, they're printing out reports, they're mailing things, anything that's essential that they need to be able to print, we recommend that you go ahead and have that employee disconnect that desk printer. Make sure you take any cables that's connected to it. If you have any USB cables, go ahead and take those cables too, because what that's going to do, it's going to allow that employee to be able to print from home. And again, if they have to do reports, if they have to mail anything, if for whatever reason your business just relies on having paper trails, then that's going to be a great item that you should consider having your employees take. And in case you don't have any USB cables, you can call us. We actually have bins of USB cables, and also your local stores, although they're limited in hours, they also sell USB cables. Also, we have a lot of clients that do process check printers. Now, check printers are when you print it out from QuickBooks or Tops or whatever the application you guys are using, and then from there it formats it correctly on a check. So for that key essential employee, your business still needs to operate. You still need to be able to print your checks if you're not doing it electronically. Definitely make sure that you take your check printer and any paper as well, or the blank check, so that way that your business can continue to operate. The next thing that we're recommending that your employees take when they start to work from home is a webcam. If you don't own a webcam, you can still order them online or go to your local electronics store. But if there's maybe another department, or if you have a conference room where there's a webcam, just disconnect that temporarily. And whatever key employee needs a webcam so that they can do teleconferencing and video conferencing from home, let them allow them to take that webcam and be able to connect it to their computer at home. The next thing that we have on the list is we had a lot of clients access for loaner computers or spare computers that we may physically have, and we've actually already given all of them out. And when they went to the Best Buy, Office Depot stores, in addition to having limited hours, they were limited in stock on computers that they can actually use so that their employees can work from home. So what we're now recommending is, if you guys, the company doesn't have any corporate laptops, and if you go to the store and they are very limited, they don't have any computer to purchase, and your employee is using a desktop computer at the office, we're recommending that you go ahead and take that computer and have them set it up at their house. And that's going to be important so that way they can just continue working. They can continue working from home. If you have a server in your office, there's ways that we can then connect that desktop computer to access the server, so that way they can continue using their QuickBooks, continue to use their share files and map drives, etc. Also, as the buildings start to close, your employees are working from home, all the little things that they need, such as pens, highlighters, envelopes, stamps, staples, paper clips. I work from home a lot, and I'm home, and sometimes I just need to just staple something because I'm about to go to provide in a meeting or something like that, and it's just embarrassing because I just don't have that with me. So just so that your employee can just continue to be productive, just make sure that they bring things such as pens, highlighters, envelopes, stamps, staples, sticky notes. You just want them to be as comfortable as possible and as productive as possible. We also talked about the check printers, but there's also a lot of people that use deposit machines. So one of the things that we're telling check deposit machines. So although your building may be closed, the mailman at the moment the mail carrier is still delivering mail. And what you want to do is have your employee maybe every other day go to your office. A lot of times the mail room is on the bottom lobby level, or it could just be right, outside of the building, and just take the key for the mail room, take all the mail, and then that way they can then take it back to their house, and then you can still deposit any checks that you receive via mail, because as we know, running a small business, cash flow is very important, and you need, especially at this time, you need every single check that's available. So make sure that your employee, whoever's in charge of checking the mail, who's ever in charge of actually depositing the checks, you may want to make that employee have the key, so that every other day, every 3 days or so forth, they can just quickly go to the mailbox at your office and be able to pick up any mail and checks from there. Next thing is monitors. If you have been used to working on 2 or 3 monitors, it's very, very inconvenient to then go into a small little laptop that is, 14-inch, 15-inch screen, when you're used to working with a computer with 23-inch screen. So especially if you have, for example, Word open, you have Outlook open, you may have your online banking open, and it's just so nice just to have the 2 screens and move your neck around instead of work on this small little screen here. So one of the things that we are recommending is that if, especially since at the moment in Miami-Dade and Broward, I believe it's going to be at least the next 15 days that employees are now having to, non-essential employees have to stay home and work, and non-essential businesses have to close. So if your business is and employees are used to having 2 screens, definitely consider having them take their 2 screens. It's not that hard to disconnect, and just depending on the setup at home, if they're taking their desktop home, then great. All they have to just do is just take a picture of the back, remember what was connected, and then connect it back in, and it should work. And if they have a laptop, having 2 screens plus a laptop, you may need additional equipment for that, but to make it easier, have them take one of the screens, and then that way they would have their laptop plus one other screen, and in effect, it would be 2 screens that they would have. Also, I saw some people posting on Facebook where they just showed that because they weren't prepared for a home office, They show that they're using their kids like little computer desks with their computer, and it's very uncomfortable. So again, we want to make the environment for your employees to be as comfortable as possible. So you want to be able to take the keyboard, mouses. Working on a laptop with your one finger is very uncomfortable if you're going to be doing it for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. So you definitely want to encourage your employees that when they do come to the office to take any last remaining items before this government mandated non-essential business close, that take the wireless mouse, take the wireless keyboard, any accessories that they have that they like, that they want to take over to their home, their work at home office, let them do that. So let's see if we have any chat questions here. All right, so we don't have any questions at the moment. So I hope that this was beneficial for you. And if you do have any questions, feel free just to leave a comment below. And once we get that, we'll go ahead and answer those. And we plan on doing more of these live sessions. We'll next time give you a little more heads up so that you know about it. But our clients are asking many different our clients are asking a lot of questions as far as, what should we do working from home? This is so new for us, and we just want to be here to help you when you need it. You can also reach us at our phone number, 786-664-8275, 786-664-8275. Thank you.